Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel, The Crumbs in the Philippines. As always, we very much appreciate you stopping by today and sharing a little time with us and sharing our lives with us. Today started out just like any other day. We had a brownout here, a power outage at the subdivision of Plantation Meridian, and we had known about it for several days in advance, and we made our plans, and we were thinking we were going to head back out into the Laguna province and check out another waterfall, Dampalit Falls. I'd seen some pictures of it and talked to some other people that had been there before, and it seemed like it was a pretty nice place, and we were looking forward to going. And the day started off bright. It was very sunny, and the closer we got, the weather started getting rough, as they say in the old Gilligan's Island. For any of you guys that remember, the tiny ship was tossed, and we had to make some alterations to our plan there. And but anyway, just like any other time that you go out on a trip at the Philippines, you're going to see some unique, interesting stuff. This was a part of Laguna that we had never been to before. And I promise you, if you hang around and check this out, it's pretty unique. If you've never seen a geothermal plant before, which I had never seen one, I was fascinated with that stuff. These huge pipes running everywhere throughout this whole section of the province. And we got some really good video of that. And I know I worked as a nuclear plant operator during my time in the Navy, so I'm a little bit familiar with steam plant operations, and the concept of geothermal energy being used to power an area is pretty fascinating to me. I hope you find it as interesting as I did, and I hope that you'll hang out for that. Another thing that we came across today that just absolutely I had no idea was there was the campus of the University of the Philippines. It's a beautiful, beautiful campus. I can't remember the name of the town that it was in, but it really reminded me of a campus back in the United States with huge, sprawling greens and large dormitories and very modern looking university. And if you stick around and check that out, you'll see what I mean. It was beautiful. There's a guy with his horse on the side of the road. Always interesting. Beautiful countryside, mountains every which way you go here on Luzon. I'm really looking forward to visiting some other islands as time goes by. And my birthday is coming up here next Tuesday. I'll be 62, a legal Social Security recipient, and we're going to the island of Mindoro, which has a beautiful white sand beach at Puerto Galera. We're going to do some nice video there on my birthday, and there's another big waterfall, Tamaraw Falls, that I'd also like to get on one of the days while we're there, and we'll share that video as well. But we're going to be headed out on Sunday, and we'll video the trip and show you the experience of hopping on the ferry. Like, we're taking our scooter with us, and so I'll show you what that's like, driving your scooter up onto the ferry and then having a seat. It's only about a little over an hour ride on the ferry over to Mindoro, and then we're going to spend 3 nights there. I'll break down the cost for you and show you just how affordable it is to take these little excursions and really get out and see the all of the beautiful things that the Philippines has to offer. One, I just never get tired of this scenery. Every time I see something that looks really neat to my own vision, I pull over and we try to capture it on video. Like here, off in the distance, you could see the mountains way off in the distance with the clouds kind of covering the tops of the mountains. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but I hope you can. And there was a carnival going on here, and it looked like it started at 4 p.m. Not very big by like a state fair standard in the U.S., but it was a pretty decent looking place. Excuse me. Right here where we made this left turn, once we this is where we hit territory we'd never covered before on the scooter. If you keep going straight there, you'll end up in San Pablo, Laguna, which is the big city that we featured in the video where we went to Tai Falls. I'm sure you can remember that. It's a pretty big city. This road was a little bit more rural, and the communities that we went through were a lot smaller, but it had just a real provincial feel to it. They were doing some major excavation over here on the right. I don't know what they're building, but it's going to be pretty big. There's no telling what it'll be, but we'll see it when it's finished one day here in about a year or so. But anyway, as we were getting closer and closer to Dampolite Falls, the weather started getting darker and darker. So right about the time we passed into the University of the Philippines campus, which it's actually a pretty large campus. They had a checkpoint out at the perimeter of the campus, and I had to give up my driver's license and get a visitor's pass to be able to drive on the campus. But it was really cool. It was still full of students. You could see them walking around. Like I said, it was just like a United States university. I really felt like I was in the U.S. for that little bit of time that we were there on the campus. And we managed to find a Philippine bus stop, and I pulled the scooter up in there just as it was really starting to rain. We had some pretty torrential type rainfall. There's a technology center and another beautiful shot of the mountain with the clouds on top. And we sat underneath that bus stop for about a half hour to let some of the rain die down. Here's the entrance where you leave Batangas and you go over into Laguna in the kind of in the southwestern part of Laguna and the northern part of Batangas. It's a really beautiful place. Laguna is. This is one of those small towns, and always enjoy them. We normally stop somewhere and check out a roadside stand and grab a togi, which is a vegetable lumpia, or a turon, which is a fried banana. Just really cool treats that are unique to the Philippines. Really nice little quaint little town here. And we're getting really close to that geothermal place that I was telling you about. It's really cool, and it's actually active. We saw there's where the start of it here, and we saw technicians working on the pipes, and there's actually several different locations that look like power plants that are all part of this system of piping here. I'd really be curious to know how much of Laguna it serves, and whether it like produces electricity or whether it just provides like heat. These are all questions that I would probably have to research and find the answer to. But as you can see, it's really cool. I've never seen anything like that in the United States or anywhere else in any of my travels. This was a first for me. And I think that's the acronym for the company, the geothermal company. And that's one of the sites there we took a picture of, and we stopped at another one and took some kind of still video there so you can see what it looks like. But these pipes went on for about probably 15 to 20 kilometers through this part of the Laguna province. So I'm going to do a little research, and later on I'll come back on and give you guys an idea of what that's about, because it really piqued my curiosity. And I mean, I don't know if you're like me, but I always want to know what that stuff is and how it works. You can see these pipes running right alongside the road, and they just go on and on and on. And So once we made it to the University of the Philippines and we sat it out at the bus stop, we rode around the campus a little bit. I wanted to give you guys a look at it because it's way different than the De La Salle University there in Lipa City, which De La Salle is a pretty big college or university, but it's absolutely nothing compared to this campus here at the University of the Philippines. As you'll see, I hope you stick around long enough to see it. It's only a few more minutes. And then after we left the University of the Philippines campus, we headed up towards Dampilit Falls and accidentally stumbled into the Boy Scouts of the Philippines reservation. Really cool place, and I didn't even know it existed. And they have a nice monument there and big campgrounds and pavilions, and I don't know how much area it covers, but it's a pretty good sized reservation because we drove all the way to the entrance road to Dampilit Falls, and we were still inside the Boy Scout reservation. Here we passed several just beautiful rice paddies, some of which look like they were in season almost. As you can see, you can also see that the weather is starting to look a lot different in the sky up there. But we took some good video up in the Boy Scout reservation, and especially at the big monument there where they have the big three-finger symbol and for the Boy Scouts, which is universal worldwide, I guess, because it's the same for the Boy Scouts of America and the Boy Scouts of the Philippines. And we're coming up on the checkpoint here. This road was really bumpy. The only reason I left this in here was so you guys could see the checkpoint. This is where I had to give up my license, and we got a visitor's pass so that we could drive onto the campus up here. And then once we got to the entrance to Dampilit Falls, we kind of on the fly made another plan adjustment. It looked like the rain was not going to be leaving the area. So we just made a U-turn and headed back to the Lima Technology Park and decided we wanted to go eat at the eat all you can steak and wings there at the Lima Technology Park, which is the Thrillist restaurant. And there you can see that rain. We're sitting under the bus stop. But anyway, guys, I'm going to finish this out with some music. You should really stick around until you get to the part where we're in the Lima Technology Park in the restaurant. We decided not to take the video camera inside the Lima Technology Park because it was raining and we couldn't have got much video. But boy, did I kick myself in the rear end afterwards because
I love you.
what happened when we were inside that restaurant is something that has never happened to me before, ever. We sat down and ordered our food, and we're really enjoying the atmosphere. It's a really nice place. And then one of the waitresses who was pregnant ran into the bathroom, and we didn't think nothing of it, like maybe she was sick, having some sickness or some pains or something. And then about 5 minutes later, we could hear a baby crying coming from the bathroom, and you saw the rest of the staff ran over to the bathroom, and all of the other people in the restaurant were getting up trying to help, and somebody ran over to the clinic, and it was kind of hectic there for a while, and I would have given anything to get that on the video. But anyway, we welcomed a new life into the world while we were sitting there eating at the restaurant. Just a unique experience, and all we managed to get was just a few photos. I'm going to add those at the end, but I'll tell you, it's an experience I'll never forget. The young lad that came into the world at that time was about 3 months early and had to be taken to the hospital right away. But we called back to the restaurant a couple of days later, and they told us that the mother and the baby were both doing fine. Anyway, guys, I'm going to play a song or two just to finish this out. There's not a whole lot left, but you can see how beautiful this campus is. And as always, guys, we really, really appreciate you watching. Thanks for subscribing and sticking around. And if this is your first time, guys, just consider subscribing. And we really enjoy making the videos, and hope that you guys enjoy them as much as we enjoy making them. There's some students there. But anyway, guys, until next time, which will be the video coming from my birthday, stay healthy, stay happy, and I really, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. We appreciate you guys very much. Take care.